If you use Stripe and you want to automatically add the payment details to Google Sheets or another system like SmartSuite or Airtable, then check this out. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zach Stevenson. I'm a business process and no-code consultant. If you need help streamlining or automating any of your business processes, you can visit our website, interdevsolutions.com, or you can click the link in the description below to book a free consult. In Stripe, if you use payment links, you may want to process or move that information once a payment has been created and add it as a row within Google Sheets or add it to a database somewhere as a new record. Probably want to be able to process that information in one way, shape, or form. To do that, you can automate that with using make.com. If you do not have a Make account, you can create one for free using the link in the description below. But to get started here, there's going to be a few things that we need. So we're going to have your Stripe account. You're going to use your make.com account, and we're going to use Google Sheets. This same process is going to work for Airtable, SmartSuite, or other tools that make.com integrates with. So basically what's going to happen, or what it's going to look like, is a payment is going to come in to Stripe. We're going to be using payment links. It's automatically going to send a webhook to make.com, and make.com is going to grab that webhook, so the information from that payment, and process it through, and we are going to simply add it to a Google Sheet. What this will look like, we can start in Stripe. I'm in my test mode. What you need to do is you have to have a payment link and product first off. So we'll click into this payment link. I already have the payment link set up, and I have requested some custom data as well, but I'll show you what that looks like. I'll go back to payment links. I'll create new. I'll just select any random product here. It doesn't matter for this case. In advanced options, we have an add custom field. So if we require some custom information, we can ask for that from the customer as well. And we'll be able to get that from the webhook and process it in our Google Sheet. Now that you have a payment link created, we can go into make.com, create a new scenario. And then the first thing we're going to do is add a new module. We're going to search for Stripe. You will have to integrate and connect Make with Stripe. Go ahead, get that looked after. And then the first thing we can do is add this watch event module. Once the connection's made between Stripe and make.com, we can create a webhook. This way it will automatically create and add the webhook for us within Stripe, so we don't have to worry about that step. However, if you're using another system that doesn't have this automatic webhook creation, then within your Stripe account, you can go up here, just type in webhooks, and through the developers tab, there's this webhook here, and you can add an endpoint right here. But as I mentioned, it will create this webhook for us automatically. I'll just do payments to Google Sheets, and I'll just note to myself it's a demo. I'm using my test Stripe account here, and in the group, I'm going to do a checkout and checkout session completed. If I go back into Stripe, if we go into payments, select this most recent payment. This is a test one that I ran. If I scroll down to the bottom, we can see the events and logs, and you can see right here, a checkout session was completed. So that's the trigger that we want to use because it's going to provide us with all of the information that I need. This is an example of the webhook response that we will receive within Make. But from here, we've got a checkout session completed option. We'll save that. It'll create the integration in webhook for us and add it. Then I can click OK. Now, the next time a payment is made, a webhook will be sent to this module and it will receive the data similarly structured here. So let's go back to Make, add a new module, and I'm going to go into Google Sheets. We'll add a row. I have a spreadsheet already set up here. It's just simply got the ID, currency, email. Whatever information you want to receive is basically what you need to add within the Google Sheet. I can go through, select my actual sheet that I want to pass it to, and then we can carry on. Now that I've selected my spreadsheet ID, which is just Stripe payment links demo, I selected my sheet name. I've only got one sheet here, so that makes it simple. And then it's going to find all of the headers for me based off of this. So table contains headers. I selected yes, because it does. And then here you can see I've got the ID, currency, and so on. I'm just going to hit OK on this, and we'll come back to it and map the data in a moment. But the first thing I need to do is pass in a test webhook here so that I can receive the details that I want. I'm just going to right click on it, run this module, and then I'm going to flip back to my payment links. I'll just copy this one and paste it in my browser. And I'm just going to add a test payment here. In test mode, you can actually use a Stripe authorized credit card. If I click into my card information, I can add that information. You'll see what I mean in a moment. You can see card information is just 4242, and there's 16 of those characters. You can add in whatever you want for an expiry date, the CVC code, cardholder name. I'm just going to add my name. None of that matters. But if you use this credit card number, that's what you can use for a test payment. I'll go ahead. I'm going to add my email address. Here's the custom field that we created in the payment link setup, just for testing purposes. I'm going to put test custom info, and then we can just add a postal code here, and we can go ahead and select pay. You can see that's passed through. If I flip back to make.com, you can see that it's received that webhook. And if I go into here, we can see all of the fields accordingly. Now, if I go over to this Google Sheets module, scroll down to the ID, I can pass in the ID, the currency. Because there's so many fields, I'm just going to search that. You can see currency is in USD. Here's email. I'm going to search that one as well. And there's a couple of different options here, but I'm just going to select this one. I'm going to search for the name, pass that in, amount, and we have a subtotal and a total. I imagine if you use a tax or something like that's where the difference will be here. I'm just going to bring in the total amount. Something to know that the total was $515, but here it looks like $51,500. The reason for that is the response or the API that Stripe uses looks at it in cents. So to actually get the true total amount, we can bring in a divide option here. If we go into the math functions, select the division symbol, and then pass in 100, we're just going to divide by 100. So we get the real number in dollars. And then here's a custom field here. If I search the custom field, we can see here that the text value is this test custom info, and that's what I passed into. And click OK. We're going to save this. I'm going to click run once, and then I will go back into Stripe. I'm going to open up this payment link again, and I'm going to make a payment one more time. So I clicked create payment. We can see that it's successfully passed in the webhook data here, and it successfully created the new row within Google Sheets. If I flip into Google Sheets, we can see that this information has passed in from the make module. Here's the ID. There's a lot of different types of IDs within Stripe, but it makes it easier to reference the specific payments if you receive that type of information. Here's the currency, the email address, name. Here's the amount. And as you can see that it brought in the $515 versus the $51,500 because we used the math within the make module here by dividing by 100. And it's brought in the custom field as well, which in the second test, I just labeled as test 2. Again, if you want to use this same type of workflow to pass the information to Airtable or Excel Online or SmartSuite or any other database or software that will integrate with make.com, you can do that. You just have to use the module that is associated with that software. And it will be a very similar process where you just pass in this type of data into the system. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future.